But Matt and I are aligned. And the one thing I will say is this: I'm never going to shy away from the fact that one of the reasons I'm sitting up here is because of my relationship with Matt Ishbia.
Son of a bitch!
The Suns' new GM had his introductory press conference on Tuesday afternoon in Phoenix, and it was not well received by the fan base. I didn't hate everything I heard, and I'm really interested in your point of view on this, Sundo. I've got some pros and cons that I wrote down, but what were your initial thoughts when you watched it?
Okay, my first thought is this is going to be either a genius hire by Matt Ishbia or it's going to be the worst GM hire of all time. I don't think there's going to be an in-between or a mediocre type situation here. It's either going to be genius or absolute garbage. Let's start with the negatives. The one that everybody's talking about. This is a buddy hire. It's somebody that Matt Ishbia has known. He's a Michigan State Spartan. There's a relationship there. He knows Bartelstein. You know, he came here with Ishbia. So there's always that where people are just like, this is just a buddy hire, a friend hire. We don't like it. We wanted somebody with NBA experience. You're just hiring your friends. I believe there is something to that, especially with the quote when he said something along the lines of, I'm not going to shy away from the fact that I'm here because of Matt Ishbia. That quote sent fans, you know, down a spiral, down a whirlwind, if you will. So yeah, there's that negative to it. I have a few positives, but I do want to get your take on at least that quote and that fact of he's Ishbia's friend, came here with Ishbia, Michigan State Spartan from Detroit. How do you feel about that?
I think the kids are calling it the ick. Okay, and that's what I got from it. But I looked up his tenure at Michigan State, and I did like it. Okay, so he mentioned he's got 30 years of experience. Well, 5 of those came at Michigan State under who I consider to be a legendary college coach, Tom Izzo. In those 5 years, 3 times they went to the Final Four. That's not nothing, and one of them they won the national championship. So he has had some success at the biggest college level possible. Now, another negative, when he left Michigan State, his record isn't that impressive. But that's not what he's here to do. I'm trying to judge him differently from when he was a coach to now being a GM. It's a totally different ballgame.
Yeah, but see, that's part of my issue is, yes, he had the success at Michigan State. He's had experience doing this in college, but we all know the NBA is vastly different than college. Now, the positive there is he has been in college so long, he does know how to scout college players, a la Ryan Dunn, Oso, Jalen Bridges. He even brought Colin Gillespie here, and he did mention them in the press conference as the 4 players that he does want to develop. I do like that. That's a positive moving forward. But again, the lack of NBA experience, which is why I say this could be a genius hire by switching it up, doing something new, or it could be the worst thing ever because there is inexperience and they will make all the wrong decisions.
One thing that I do like, and it could turn out to be nothing, we're not head over heels in love with this guy already. Only because it's different from the other moves that Matt Ishbia has made since he's took over. Everything he's done, we're throwing a parade, slapping ourselves on the back like, this is it. We did it. And then it's all turned up opposite. So, I don't know. It doesn't mean he's going to be good, but I'm willing to give him some time because us as Suns fans thinking something is good or bad means nothing at this point.
Yeah, Gabe, us Suns fans, we just need to be aligned with their vision. You know, the word out there is alignment. We are all aligned, okay? We're all aligned here. Have you heard that enough? At Matt Ishbia, we're aligned. GM, we're aligned. And now we got to find a coach who aligns with us. Us as Suns fans, we just need to align with the vision.
Now, you say that as a joke, and I do understand how annoying it is to hear someone say that over and over. It's definitely coach speak or front office speak, if you will. But I feel like every time he said that, it was a shot at Mike Budenholzer.
Not just Coach Bud, but even Frank Vogel and maybe even James Jones at this point. It seems like the last 2 coaching hires, along with James Jones, haven't seen eye to eye. And I think that Ishbia got tired of it. And so he's going this direction and boom, we're aligned.
I guess the reason why I go to Bud is just the whole report that he and Booker were not seeing eye to eye. He's asking Booker to be less vocal during timeouts so that he can tell people what to do, and he doesn't want Booker using the precious time in the timeout to lead the team because that's his job. And that was an unalignment. But you're right, it's probably Vogel and James Jones too. While I'm scrambling for positives on Brian Gregory, I did like the fact that it seems like he understands the importance of the draft. He understands that you build a championship contender through the draft, which has been the opposite of the way I feel James Jones has been going about things. It's like, how can we sell all of our assets to turn it all into a get-rich-quick scheme where we can just win a title right now? And that is one ingredient of our demise.
I wouldn't even say one ingredient. I would say the ingredient of our demise is the get rich quick schemes of James Jones or Matt Ishbia or whoever you want to say for the past 3 years of the KD trades and the Beal trades and the Torrey Craig trade and so on and so forth. The Sticks trade, go down the list and you will see all the trades that sort of have been to the detriment of the Suns' future. I do agree with the fact that this current GM does have a reverence and mentioned development.
Developers, 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 developers. Yes!
I do love the fact that he mentioned development and the draft, and they seem to be focused on the draft. And then also hiring a coach that is also going to be willing to help with the development of said young players, which leads me to my next point. And a positive, I have to believe that this means that Kevin Durant's probably getting traded if this is the route and the focus that they're going with. He mentioned that he wanted a hard-nosed team. He mentioned he wanted an urgent team. He mentioned both of those things, which I know that I am seen as the guy that comes down hard on Kevin Durant on the channel and partly in our community here. But I just feel like that just has a target on Kevin Durant's back and he will probably be sent out. And that's just the way I look at it. And I like that. I can't deny that. I like the fact that you're going to focus on Oso, Ryan Dunn. You're keeping Booker here. You're going to focus on Colin Gillespie. We saw what he did at the end of the season. Jalen Bridges, we've been singing his praises, wanting to see him. He never really got playing time because of Coach Bud. I like the fact that he continued to talk about development and young players and the draft. That is the biggest positive for me, especially for the past 5 years, 6 years of James Jones. And probably the only one.
The last thing I'll point out, he seems to understand also the importance of getting the next coach picked correctly. Suns are at a crossroads right now, and if they screw this next coaching hire up, could prolong this phase of hell that the Suns are in right now.
I also think not getting this coach correctly does get Booker out of town, and not by Booker's asking. Maybe it will be, but because if they do get this coaching hire wrong, you're going to ruin what's left of Booker's prime, and then he's going to have to be shipped out anyway. And then we're off to square one. So I agree with you on that. This coaching hire is definitely going to be critical to at least the next 5 years of the Suns for sure, because not only is it Booker, we're talking Ryan Dunn, the Osos, the current draft picks, the current young players that we have. If it doesn't work out, then we're starting all over. We have to 2030 till we get our next draft picks back, like control of our draft picks again, 2030 or 2031 or something like that. We have until then. So yeah, this coaching hire 100% matters. Absolutely agree with you on that one.